Hi, and thank you for joining me into my session about Dooap Studio. My name is Anna Tyynen, and I'm the CPO at Dooap. And Dooap is an AP automation solution that integrates with D365 F&O. We offer pretty much everything that a typical AP automation solution would, in the sense of that you can capture all the invoices, do workflow, coding, matching, analytics, everything that you would think. Now, as the newest addition, we also have the Dooap Studio, which is for building AI automation on top of that process in a safe way. It is there to design, tune, and govern AI agents that would do parts of the process on your behalf. Our AI journey started a few years back when GPT started taking over. We immediately started testing with different large language models and what kind of component those would be in the finance processes. So we quickly noticed that AI needs structure, it needs control, it needs definitely transparency, and for example, there is the needs of finance audit trails and logs that you wouldn't necessarily have with AI typically. We designed Dooap Studio to be that way of safely applying artificial intelligence into those finance processes. We have Dooap Core, which is still working as the basis of the process, but then you can choose where you want to, for example, solve a few of those bottlenecks by applying an agent to help you with the process. Security and customer data, this is one of the reasons why we built it. We want to make sure that your data is not used to train any models. Your inputs, for example, the invoices that the AI reads will stay private. They are not used for training or developing or improving the models. The data will stay in your tenant. So the geolocation, for example, of your data is going to follow your Dooap AP automation installation, and there is not going to be kind of open data sets. Your data is never stored in open or public databases. This is all part of now Microsoft the Enterprise Agreement. So you're basically governed with the same model as all of your data regarding your Microsoft Dynamics subscription. Good. What I want to show you is a few exact demo cases or use cases which are the very typical areas where AI is now used. I am going to show a way to apply coding automatically, do some PO invoice matching automatically, and also some fraud detection. So let's get going. I have here my Dooap AP automation solution ready. I am here acting in the role of AP. So I have my work queue here, all the invoices that I am expected to process. But let's start now by adding some new invoices here. So I'm going to grab a few non-PO invoices and one purchase order related invoice, which I am going to then import. So we immediately start the process by utilizing artificial intelligence here. So we have built the OCR, the capture process with the large language models, and it's amazing as it can pretty much read every language that there is. It can understand those invoices just as large language models are able to understand pretty much all the documents and everything that's written. So there is no need for any vendor templates or kind of specific vendor picking rules that you have to know the exact pixel where the data is. As I import, kind of drop those invoices in, you can already see the agent working on those. It has pretty much already captured all the details from those invoices. There is still an agent that I have multiple different kind of agents working on these invoices. I can still see that there is an agent doing something on those invoices, and when it stops, you can see that the robot stops being visually there on that invoice in particular. Now all of those 3 invoices have been captured, processed, coded. Everything has been done, and we can take a look at what we got. I'll first grab this Central Life Sciences invoice from here. I'm going to lift it to my active invoice section so I can see all the details, all the comments that the AI assistant has already done to the invoice. I can see the invoice picture here on the right side. And the most important thing, I can see the full audit trail. So this is the audit trail of everything that already has happened to that invoice, even though we just imported it. I can see basically which agents have done which actions to those invoices. I have had in total actually 3 different agents work on this, an agent handing the invoice from one hand to another, and all of those have different tasks, different structured, detailed tasks on what they are fulfilling. First of all, there was the capture OCR. So basically the OCR part is easy. It's just reading all the information from this invoice, but then the LLM agent is actually understanding what is there on the invoice. Then I had another agent to detect the invoice type and do the routing based on if it's an non-PO invoice, it would go to coding, and if it's a PO invoice, it would go to PO matching. So that is what happened. Here is all the tasks that it did for regarding the coding. So let's take a look. Here on my processing section, I can see that I have 3 different coding lines. It is matching pretty much what I have there on the invoice. And I also have these comments, 2 in total for this invoice. My first assistant, I requested it to make a short description of what the invoice is about. This is really useful, especially on if you have foreign invoices, something that is in a different language or even different characters. It will then be able to, for example, give you a summary in English that what is the invoice about. Even if it's kind of like a long invoice that is plain English, there is a lot of information there, and to have a short description that what is the invoice about will save your approver's time a lot. Then I had the other agent to give me detailed instructions on what kind of coding decisions did you make. And I can see that it has looked for a similar invoice from the past and then applied the coding based on that similar invoice that was the same lines were coded previously. Good. This is still open in the AP step. I could have had it already pushed to the approvers. I wanted to stop it here so we can take a look at it. But all the process steps are something that you can have the AI do. You decide what you want it to do, and you will decide what the controls there are. Let's take a look at the other non-PO invoice. So I did also import a Granger invoice, and in this case, I have a bit more comments, and I also have a flag on it. So I have here a kind of a notification to the AP that, hey, suspicious invoice is detected. There is some discrepancies between the payment stub and the actual invoice. So this looks like something where some fraudulent actor is trying to imitate a known vendor. Every company gets invoices from Granger, so it's easy to just shoot those out and then still have some payment information that they're trying to lure in there in between. But we were able to spot those. We can spot if there has been, for example, changes into the PDF document after it has been created, or just like in this case, we're detecting that there's data discrepancies. We did still code the invoice, but it's now flagged to the AP to take action. So if it's okay, if there, for example, has been changes into the banking details, now the accounts payable specialist can take action. But all right, then I am going to grab the other invoice that there was. So here is the PO invoice that I created or imported. We did do also for this one, we did the capture. We can check again on the history log what has happened. The invoice was imported. Then we did some workflow selections, and then all the capture processing happened. So there was payment references, purchase orders, cash discounts, all of this detected. And then our agent for the invoice type routed it for PO line matching. And we can now see all the steps that the agent did. Again, let's take a look there in the processing side, what has happened. We can see that there is the purchase information, that what is the purchase about, and then we also can see that there has been matching steps happening. So we see that the unit prices from the original purchase order were a bit lower, and then we have a freight amount that or a freight line that was added after kind of from the invoice, based on the invoice. So we can see that there was an agent that added the miscellaneous charge code to this invoice. And it's basically done all the matching. It is within our thresholds. We have applied that so that the agent is allowed to do changes up to 5% of the discrepancy of the unit price. But all of these rules are again something that you can define. What kind of changes is the AI agent allowed to do? And for example, very typical is to add a limitation that it's allowed to add freight charges up to $200, for example. Good. This would now be ready for basically, again, we could have the agent push this forward with and go check the three-way matching and process it automatically if it is okay with us with the thresholds. Good. So how did this actually happen? How did we build it? You might have seen here already in the audit trail that I have the ability to jump into the actual to Studio to see how this step was processed. But I'm going to now show you what our Dooap Studio looks like, and I'm going to start with the library. Dooap Studio is here in kind of directly connected to your existing Dooap AP automation environment. We can see everything that is in there, and we can easily apply pre-made templates of different agents, for example. So if you want to take into use, for example, PO's invoice matching, that actual agent that you just saw working on that invoice, you could just point and click and then enable that agent to work. You can also build your own agents. We do have here also helping Dooap Shepherd, an AI helping tool, which can build those agents on your behalf. You're basically giving instructions to the agent, and then it's going to build the draft of that agent based on those steps that you define. How it looks like when it has been built, I am going to show here a few of those agents that we had working there on the environment. You saw the OCR capture working. You saw the PO line matching working. You saw the flag suspicious invoices working. And this, for example, this flag suspicious invoices is something that I have created with that Dooap Shepherd, which has built this for me and applied all the interesting criteria for for checking whether an invoice is a fraudulent or not. I don't really have to know what's happening here in this side. I can always ask the shepherd to help me with this prompt. It should do the following, or I can ask it to check also, oopsie, also the banking details in the future. So I can add a new part to that prompt, and then the Dooap Shepherd was going to help me to apply these new rules for this. If everything that the shepherd is suggesting for me is good, I am okay with this. So yes, please do that. So basically, yes, and then it will apply that to the prompt. Good. All right. This is what the Dooap Studio is. It is meant to give you full visibility to what the AI is doing. Typically, AI can be a black box. It's just something that happens, but now you're in control. You can see every step that what it's doing. You can see the audit trail. You can see the thought pattern that it was using, or the decisions that it was using, and you can see the confidence levels, and there is the log of all the actions that the AI agent has done in your environment, accessible through the Dooap Studio. So everything is fully compliant, and you're giving your IT department a good night of sleep with it. Good. I'll just show a few of the automation ideas here in the as the last part. So coding, PO, invoice matching, tax processing, these are one of the most typical parts where AI agents are being now built amongst our customers, also for the fraud detection, workflow automation, and then also to build open API integrations. Automatically, that studio is connected to your Dooap environment, but also to your Dynamics environment. So it's basically able to retrieve any information you would want to use in your automation process from Dynamics. If it is something that we kind of don't yet see, then you can just point and click and basically retrieve that information, even if it's something from your custom fields or custom functions. Also, very popular is to, for example, build integrations to outside purchasing ERP. So if you have, in addition to your Dynamics, you have a separate purchasing tool or an HR tool or whatever, now you're able to basically point and click and build an open API integration. And when I'm saying build an integration, I mean a fraction of the work that it has typically meant for building an integration. So now it is really easy to get that data connected into your AP automation process. And also, just as a kind of like a final list of kind of give you ideas, these are the functions that currently our customers are implementing or already using, or the ideas that they have had for building some extra automation steps. Many have started with building coding automation tools for those kind of specifically pesky invoices that have cost a lot of manual work. But then after that, you get ideas on, for example, hey, how can we do some metadata extraction from those invoices and store ESG reporting information, for example. I hope you all get excited, as excited as I am from this. And I think not seeing is believing. I mean, testing it is believing. So I would be really happy to get you set up and get you trying your own AI agents with the Dooap Studio and with your Dooap AP automation tool. All right, thank you for listening. We'll be in contact, and I hope you got some new AI ideas out of this. Thank you so much.